Norway-United States relations are bilateral relations between Norway and the United States. The United States and Norway have a long tradition of positive relations. The American Revolution of 1776 had a profound impact on Norway, and the democratic ideals of the United States Constitution served as a model for the authors of Norway's own Constitution of 1814. The close relationship between the two nations was reinforced by massive Norwegian emigration to the U.S. during the period 1825 to 1940, when more than 850,000 Norwegians made new homes in the United States and helped build the nation. After the liberation from German occupation 1945, Norway abandoned its history of neutrality and joined NATO, stressing its military alliance and economic cooperation with Britain and the United States. The Marshall Plan helped Norway to modernize its economy and integrate more into the world market. It avoided any provocation that might offend the Soviet Union, its northern neighbor. Since the 1960s, Norway has been drawn increasingly into European affairs while the importance of ties to Britain and the United States has declined. Norway refuses to join the European Union and engages in a largely independent foreign policy. There is a lingering desire for non-alignment, strengthened by the discovery of vast amounts of oil that built up a huge rainy day fund in the treasury. The friendly state of the bilateral relationship was reinforced when King Harald V of Norway hosted the visit of U.S. President Bill Clinton in November 1999, the first visit to Norway by a U.S. president in office. The excellent relations between Norway and the United States and the mission in Oslo can focus its efforts on projects that serve mutual interests. Among them are expanding on the success of NATO in securing transatlantic security, promoting new business opportunities between the two nations, working with the Arctic Council to preserve the Arctic environment and with Russia in particular in the Barents Sea, helping the Baltic nations to find their place in the new Europe, and capitalizing on information technology to promote human rights and a sense of world community. According to the 2012 U.S. Global Leadership Report, 46% of Norwegians approve of U.S. leadership, with 21% disapproving and 33% uncertain. The United States maintains an embassy in Oslo. The United States ambassador to Norway is in charge of the Embassy of the United States in Oslo. Principal U.S. officials. Norway maintains an embassy in Washington, D.C., United States, and 3 consulates in New York City, Houston and San Francisco. The United States Embassy in Oslo, the Norwegian Embassy in Washington, D.C., Norwegian Consulate General, Houston Sons of Norway Building in Minneapolis, Minnesota. There are more than 4.5 million people of Norwegian ancestry in the United States today. Of these, approximately 3 million claim Norwegian as their sole or primary ancestry. In 1906, Norway opened a consulate in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It became a consulate general in 1946. In 2001, the Norwegian government planned to close the consulate, but it stayed open after Norwegian American groups lobbied to keep it open. In 2007, the Norwegian government again announced plans to close the consulate and replace it with an honorary consulate. Area Norwegian Americans criticized the outcome. The Minneapolis consulate served Minnesota, Iowa, Michigan, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. In 2007, there were 850,000 people of Norwegian descent in Minnesota. In 2007, the consulate had 4 permanent employees and an intern. In 2007, former U.S. Vice President Walter Mondale agreed to serve as honorary consul general. He was succeeded by Gary Gandrid, whose grandfather P.A. Gandrid had served in both the Assembly and Senate in the Minnesota legislature. As of 2015, Ivan Heiberg, the CEO of Sons of Norway, is the honorary consul of Minneapolis. There was previously a Norwegian consulate in Miami that served Florida, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and the Caribbean. The consulate closed on April 1, 2003. After its closure, its territory was divided between the consulates in Houston, New York, Caracas, and Mexico City. This article incorporates public domain material from the United States Department of State website. https 2009-27.state.gov/r/pa/a/bgn/3421.htm relations. Media related to relations of Norway and the United States at Wikimedia Commons.